filling in at quarterback, legit contenders.
No, I don't think so. Even to a degree with Tua at the quarterback spot, I never really thought when you say contenders, and I'm assuming you're talking about getting into the Super Bowl, making a strong run at an AFC title game.
Exactly.
Although they beat the Buffalo Bills, I think if the Buffalo played them two more times, Buffalo would beat them. The same thing with the Ravens. It took a miracle late in the fourth quarter for them to do what they did against a secondary that was young, inexperienced, and wasn't playing very well to begin with. Okay, they came 21 points down. It took a miracle to do that. Then when you look at the New England game in Week 1, it's the New England Patriots. New England loses to Tua and the Miami Dolphins every single year. Now you fast forward to Cincinnati. Cincinnati had gotten better. They became a much better football team at home on a short week on a Thursday night. They wind up winning the game, although Tua getting knocked out. But over the long haul, I personally don't think that the Dolphins are legit contenders. I think they'll win some games this year, but they won't compete with Buffalo and Baltimore and Kansas City and the Chargers when they get healthy along the way.
There's a lot of things on my mind when it comes to the Dolphins. Before I say anything else, let me say this. I'm really getting sick and tired of Mike McDaniel's doubling down on how they handled everything with Tua. I really am. That's just my personal opinion. Look, nobody in the game against Cincinnati, that happens. The fact that it happened fresh off of what transpired just 4 days earlier against Buffalo, and you didn't take him, y'all didn't take him, y'all took him out the game, but you let him return the same game. I just don't want to hear that from the Miami Dolphins. If that's the case, why did the medical doctor that was on the scene and was giving advice or suggestions about how to handle them, why was he let go? Why he was let go? Because somebody recognized that something was awry here. And so Mike McDaniel's right. It's not a character assassination against him. I'm certainly not questioning his intent. Yeah. But at the end of the day, to walk around talking like you handled things correctly when this dude has to sit out this week, when he shouldn't have been in the game against Cincinnati, when he shouldn't have been in the game in the second half against Buffalo. I mean, with all due respect, my man, Coach McDaniel, just stop it. Now, to the Dolphins as legit contenders, yeah, that's a huge question mark right now. I will say this. Their defense is real. Teddy Bridgewater's experience. Waddle and Hill are as explosive as they come. And when you look at it from that standpoint, combined with the fact that practically everyone within the AFC conference seems beatable, then I would say they're a contender. That doesn't mean they're going to beat Kansas City or Buffalo, but could they potentially be in the mix and find a way to squeeze themselves into the AFC Championship game against one of those two? I think so. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they got a shot. And because of that, I would label them having contender status.
Yeah, Stephen, I agree with you on both counts there, starting with what the coach said. What actually bothered me watching that was just the certainty, because I think if there's one thing we should take away from all of this is that there should never be absolute certainty when it comes to concussions. And of course, they did get rid of they fired the unaffiliated consultant, but he ultimately reports to the team physician. So right now, I would say humility is needed more than anything on all parties' counts. Now, as far as the football side of it, I agree with you. Now, I do think the Chiefs and the Bills are a cut above for sure, but the Dolphins are right in that next tier, and specifically, they are the sort of wild card team that can pull off an upset because they are explosive on offense, and on defense, they have that outrageous blitz and then defensive backs who can make plays, get turnovers. That's the formula for a playoff upset. And by the way, I do think they're going to win this weekend with Teddy Bridgewater because this offensive scheme is very good and he can execute it well.
Yeah. Miami's at the Jets this week.
Yeah. I mean, I know the Jets are 2-2, but let's not act like, oh my Lord, what a tough matchup it's going to be. It might be, but I doubt it. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.